Okay, so in this video, I'm going to discuss how I organize my resources. So this is everything that doesn't have to do directly with an individual. I have two ways that I organize it. One is with a genealogy resource binder, and one is with a filing system. I use the color black to designate that it doesn't have to do with a specific surname, but it's actual general files. So first with the resource binder, this is just a very general file with some lists that I have printed out from Roots Magic, and it says how I organize and where everything is. The most important part of this binder is my sources. This, before Roots Magic, when you had to kind of come up with your own citation, this was how I knew I was being consistent with my citations. So this lists how I cite every type of source. It also has an overall list of all the names in my database, so it's just a very rough overall document. Then for my location files and my resource files, I've divided those up into three. I have locality files, research tips, and extra forms. For the research tips and the locality files, research tips and extra forms, I actually don't use them very much anymore since I have now gone digital. And so most of those are bookmarks on my computer, not hard copies. For location, I start with the left side is all of the states. I started with the U.S. first because that's where most of my information comes from, and then I go to the country. On the left side are all the states alphabetically, and then in the middle tab is the county, if I have county records for that state. And then finally on the right tab is the city. Recently I've done a lot of individual cemeteries and gotten documents from them, like plot maps and other maps, so I probably will add a folder behind it for specific locations like a cemetery or a library or something like that if it's more, I need more specific. Then when we get over to the countries, once again, I have them alphabetically by country. I've also added the spelling of whatever language I am doing, so I can easily, if I'm looking at those websites that don't translate into English, I can see what spelling I need to use. The second to the middle tab is the state or municipality that they divide the country into. And then finally on the right-hand side is the city. If the name has changed, for example, I have a lot of Hungarian ancestors. When they were there, it was Austria-Hungary. It's now Romania, so I have a file folder with what it was at the time and what the records show at the time, but then the current name. So I can easily locate it on a map and see more modern records. So in this case, it's now Romania. So I would just go up to my Romanian files, and then I would come over and there's that name. In Roots Magic, they actually have a way so you can source it and do a history of that location. And so on the my genealogy program, I actually have listed what dates they changed and all the names, but this is just a quick way to remind me that I need to move to a different country. The research tips, like I said, most of these things now are just things that I had previously. Now I just save them onto my desktop or into my genealogy files. And then same with the extra forms were before everything went digital. For research tips, oddly enough, I actually found the original copy of the website that I am using to organize my documents. So here it is. I've been using this system since before 2001. So that is a overall view of just my resources that I use. And then my next video will be how to do your surname files.